Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? We are live. We're about to get the show started in a minute. It's about to go down. We got a whole lot to talk about. We got a good card this weekend. A triple header on HBO. My man Gonzalez going against Rungvi, the Thailand fighter who beat him. We got Francisco Estrada against Carlos Cadras, and Inoue, the beast Inoue, is in the building. What's going on, y'all? We're about to get the show started as always. What's going on, Angel Santos? First person in the comment section. My man Machine Gun Morris, bring it on. That's what it is. What's going on? Representing Detroit, I see you. My man I Am Legend Boxing, let's go. My man DJ7 said let's go. That's what it is. That's what it is. We got everybody, and let me go ahead and get the moderator so we could block some of the trolls over here. Let me go ahead and get some of these people out of here. All right, we got Nick Felton. What's going on, man? Yeah, the show's about to start in a second, guys. The show will start in a second. I got my boy Kirk Jackson on the line right now. My man Money Pal III is on the phone right now. What's going on, Money? What's going on, Kirk?
Hey, what's happening? What's happening, man? How's everything for you?
All right. We about to get it in, y'all. Once again, y'all, the show is about to start in a minute. We just giving quick shots out to everybody right now, and then the show is about to start, y'all. That's what it is. Y'all go ahead and rep your town, represent your state, your city, and all that. We'll get them in. What's going on, Coze? What's that, Coze? Or Coze? What's going on, Jonah? Or Jana? What is that? Okay, y'all got these these crazy ass names up in here. That's what it is, man. What's going on, Ronald? Shots out, Seattle, Washington. That's what it is, my man Timbo Slice. Representing Atlanta, my man Travis over there. What's going on, Cleveland, Oakland, Philly? They coming in fast. Rep your city, man. Yeah, Los Angeles is definitely like, whoa. It's going down, y'all. We're about to start the show in a minute. Salt Lake City. I'm trying to get y'all names in, but the shots out coming in real fast right now. So, yeah, Indianapolis. I see y'all, man. I see y'all. My man Ronald, what's going on? We're about to get the show started. Toledo, Ohio. That's what it is. Rep Baltimore. My man Make It Happen, representing Baltimore. Okay. That's what it is. Bronx, New York is like, whoa. My man Angel Santos. London is like, whoa. Okay. That's what it is. Arizona on fire. My man Daniel Gonzalez. All right. Everybody repping. Waco, Texas. That's what it is. All right, y'all, we about to get started. My man Gamer Sports Weed, Las Vegas is definitely like, whoa, we already know that one. All day. Houston, my man Sydney. All right, representing Florida, my man Romero. Yeah, see, I like when y'all have normal names like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Well, my man Coach Sheldon, Memphis, Tennessee, and Baton Rouge. That's what it is. That Louisiana boy is like, whoa. All right, y'all. Be more in the house. My man Don Wilson. That's what it is. All right, y'all. We about to get started in a minute. We're about to get started in a minute, guys. We're about to start the show right now. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking about Canelo. My man Chivo is talking about Canelo already. Carson City, Nevada is like, whoa. Okay. United Kingdom is definitely like, whoa. That's what it is. Northeast LA, my man Kid Top Skull. Oklahoma City, my man Patrick. Charlotte, North Carolina, that's what it is. My man Jared Peterson is like, whoa. Yes, sir. Let's get it in, y'all. All right, y'all. We about to get it in right now, y'all. There will be a small little pause, guys, okay? There's going to be a little small pause before the show actually starts. All right, so don't go nowhere. We're about to get the show started right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in early. Let's get it, y'all. What's going on, guys? This is your boy Dante with Dante's Boxer Nation. And let me tell you something right now. If you guys are looking for the best fragrance products in the world, you need to go to ashkicking.com. That is ashkicking.com. Keep your home smelling fresh and clean with Ash Kicking fragrance products. Treat your skin and hair with Ash Kicking all-natural health and beauty products. Everything you need to create a comfortable home living environment and create a comfortable space for entertaining. The best incense burners in the world, home fragrance products, and health and beauty products, go to ashkicking.com.
Brothers and sisters! Brothers and sisters! I don't know what this world is coming to.
Hey yo, check this out, this is Flavor Flav, and if you want the whole truth, and nothing but the whole truth, so help the whole truth. Hey yo, you better listen to Dante, baby. Dante!
That's right, we are back. Welcome to another great edition of the Dante's Boxing Nation Show. I am your host, Dante. It's going down like a plane crash, as it always does, man. It's going down, man. First things first, let me go ahead and introduce the panel as we always do. I got my man Kirk Jackson. He's a former fighter. He's also a writer on BoxingInsider.com. What's going on, Kirk?
What's going on, everybody?
All right. And I got my man Money Powell III. He's the father of one of the best boxing prospects in the world right now, Money Powell IV. What's going on, Money?
Hey, what's happening, everyone? How's everything? Dante, hey, man, as usual, it's always great to be here, man. Listening on your show.
All day, man. We're about to get it in, Money. We're about to definitely get it in, man. So first things first, as always, let me go ahead and give another big shout out to ashkicking.com, because once again, you know, they sponsor Dante's Boxing Nation. They show me a lot of love, and they basically help me, you know, travel to all these cities and countries and get the great footage, you know. So shout out to ashkicking.com. Make sure you check out their website. They have a great website, all right, guys? So let's go ahead and get into it without any further ado. And you guys can also call in. You see the number on the screen right there. I'm going to be checking in the comment section every once in a while, giving shots out. My man Coach Sheldon, CSM, in the comment section. He holding it down, and he's one of my moderators. He be weeding out the decals that's afraid to call in and you know, and tell us that BS that they love to type, you know. So shouts out to Coach Sheldon. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. He has a great boxing channel as well. You know what it is. All right, my man Machine Gun Morrison, that's what it is. What's going on, man? So yeah, I just took a little glimpse at the comment section right now. Let's go ahead and get it in, y'all. Let's get it in. Now Money, I want to go ahead and start with you, man. First things first, man. Let's go ahead and talk about these fights that we have this weekend. Now, Money, you already know Chocolatito Gonzalez. He had a hard time against, and I'm going to try to pronounce his last name, you know, so if y'all know how to pronounce it, y'all go ahead and put it in the comment section. But Sung V. He had a hard time against Sung V. What did you think about that first fight, and how do you think the rematch will play out, Money?
Okay, to me personally, I think it has everything to do with his weight. You know, with him coming up, he's been less effective, we've seen. He has not been able to knock these guys out and really been able to move them like how we're normally used to seeing that. I think that's going to be a major issue for him. And if he doesn't take it serious, he's going to be looking at loss number 2. It's not about his opponent. It's about him. What kind of adjustments that he's going to make. If he can't get over that weight issue, he's going to lose again, unfortunately. I think he'll make it interesting, but I just don't think that's going to happen for him at this weight class.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I still thought it was a tough fight. And I think, him moving up in weight, Money, he wasn't used to fighters that can actually walk through his power. When he was fighting in the smaller weight classes, he could make more mistakes, but his power would take over eventually, so he could give up early rounds, and eventually his power was going to catch up to him, and he could use that eraser like Deontay Wilder has, basically, you know, where you can, there you go. Yeah, you could lose some rounds, and then you'd be like, okay, eventually I'm going to catch you with this power no matter how many rounds I lose. Kirk, is that how you see it, or what do you think when it comes to that first fight, and how will the rematch be different, Kirk?
I completely agree. Even though he lost the first fight, between the two, it was obviously still competitive. And it kind of reminds me of one of those development fights that we have with young prospects where they put the young prospect against a guy who's more experienced. So the simple things they were doing earlier are some of the things they were able to get away with earlier, albeit being they have great physical traits, aren't working. So it's like, all right, what are you going to do now? You have to rely more so on your technical skill to get you past a tough opponent. So we're going to see Gonzalez touted as a top pound-for-pound fighter by many pundits within the boxing world. So if he really truly is pound for pound, we're going to see another dimension from him, and we're going to see if he can show another way to win the fight as opposed to just steamrolling over his opponents and overwhelming them with his power and his work rate. So we're going to see. I think he has it in him to find a way to make adjustments to win. So we'll just have to see on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to surprise people. I think he's going to box a lot more in this fight. I mean, it makes a lot of sense because Sung V, he comes straight forward. He doesn't use a lot of head movement. He's kind of like a rock'em sock'em type fighter. But at the same time, he was able to walk through a lot of Roman's best shots. I mean, if Sung V was able to even start using some head movement, I think he would be doing a lot better in that fight. I think I might even give him an edge, if he learned to, use a little head movement in the fight. But he stands so straight up, So all Chocolatito really has to do is kind of just box him a little bit, and he'll probably get the job done. But it'll be a very interesting fight. And then you have the other fights on the undercard. You have Carlos Cadras against Estrada, two fighters that gave Chocolatito Gonzalez all that he can handle. I mean, Kirk, you even said a lot of people believe that Estrada. Well, not just you, but we've heard it from a lot of people. A lot of people believe Estrada even beat Chocolatito Gonzalez, right?
Right, and this card is kind of like a nightmare for Chocolatito because you got a guy who he's fighting in a rematch who obviously beat him. Then we have two guys, as you just mentioned, who gave Chocolatito tough fights. And then you have another guy, which I'll leave for later, who's in a fight who arguably many people believe that will eventually end up fighting Chocolatito and beating him, or will end up beating him. So it's like a nightmare for this man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, man. Because I definitely don't see him beating Inoue. I don't see him. That dude. He's a beast, and that's a perfect nickname for him, man. Because he has the power, he has the slickness, the coordination, little rhythm in there when he's fighting, speed and everything. I mean, and once again, he's at a higher weight class, so he's not going to have this major weight deficit or disadvantage or power disadvantage that a lot of fighters had fighting Roman in the smaller weight classes. So. Yeah, man. Money, before we take another call, this is the reason why defense is so important, right, Money? Because you notice a lot of fighters that get knocked out are the fighters that lack the defense. And then when they start facing better competition, fighters who can maybe almost match their power or maybe their skill set, can make up for that person's power. You see a difference, and a lot of their careers end pretty early in the sport of boxing, right? Fighters that lack defense, Money.
Oh, I agree. And, just more or less like, you nailed it in what you said, but to me, defense wins championships. Like in football, basketball, at critical times, you don't need to be that one. In terms of, in an exchange or something like that, and you get hit with a shot that you're not normally getting hit with. You're not used to it. And I think that the Roman, he's up against the wall. I mean, this is just my personal opinion. When you are a guy, because I'm having a flashback to Meldrick Taylor, and when he was excellent at 140 pounds, the moment that he could no longer make 140 pounds, he was like a fish out of water. Yeah, he had his defense in, but he was still able to get hit, but then as he moved up to 147, he got hit even more, and that plays into what you just said.
Absolutely. And since we're talking about getting hit too much, Kirk, did you hear about the news that one of the doctors, Dr. O'Carroll, he basically said that Conor McGregor, he suffered a mild traumatic brain injury in the fight. Did you hear about this? And he said,
I did. Actually. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Just go ahead. It's cool. I was going to add a little bit more, but yeah, you heard about it though, right?
Yeah, and I I posted it on Instagram and tagged one of my friends who's an avid Conor McGregor supporter, aka an avid Floyd Mayweather hater. So he had doubts about Mayweather's power and said the only reason Mayweather won was not due to boxing ability, but just due to the simple fact that Conor got tired. Yeah. And I just had a long debate trying to explain to him what happened, and I left it at this. I mean, we can go back and forth dissecting the argument between MMA fans and boxing fans and why the fighters performed how they did. But in regards to the actual fight itself, when Conor was saying that he was going to stand in the center of the ring and beat this old brittle man down, why is it that he was the guy backing away and backpedaling the entire fight? And he's 9 years old in his prime, fighting a 40-year-old man who's weak. So
has pillows.
That's a bit of the difference in punching power.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that too, a lot of people don't realize when we say that, MMA and boxing is totally different, it's totally different. It's two complete different sports. Because I think in boxing, I mean, you could clearly see that Conor McGregor, a lot of MMA fighters, they're not used to getting hit with consecutive shots over and over to the head. Because in the UFC, you get hit with maybe one or two good shots, and a lot of times it's over with, But, he probably got hit more times in the last couple rounds than he got hit, in the face in a couple of his fights, I mean, outside of the Nate Diaz fight, he did get caught. He got clipped a couple in that fight. But, Floyd will just keep hitting you over and over and over again. And that basically caused a concussion in that fight. So, for someone to say to Floyd Mayweather he can't punch and all that kind of stuff, and he done gave this man a concussion, and, and he ain't in good shape right now. And I mean, they said it's a mild, brain injury. It's just somewhat of a concussion, but still, that just proves that Floyd Mayweather obviously has some type of power. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take another call, or take a call. We haven't took one yet. So let's go ahead and take the first call tonight. We're not going to be doing the show too long, guys. Got to take care of some business, and I'm going to be getting out of here. But we're going to talk to you guys, rap for a little bit, and get it in, y'all. So first call we have, our first caller is going to be 443. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Hello?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Oh, okay.
What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Howard, man.
All right. Where you calling from?
From Baltimore.
All right. What's on your mind, man?
Actually, I wasn't expecting to say anything, brother. I just want to listen. But
it's all good.
Yeah, I really just want to listen. But, honestly, I'm just waiting. No, there's something I actually did want to speak on, man, real quick. This whole go-around with Bermain Stavern and Deontay Wilder, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now, he had the right to fight Wilder because he was the mandatory, right? He had that right. He was offered to step aside money. He didn't take it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He went and got James Prince and all that. Now he steps aside. It has to be something else. It has to be something else behind the scenes why he did all that. Now he's stepping aside.
Well, I mean,
and why?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
Well, I was just going to say, well, I mean, I don't know if it's a whole bunch more to it. I mean, the bottom line is Deontay Wilder, he's trying to make bigger fights because we already know Wilder versus King Kong Ortiz, Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. Those are much bigger fights.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, why is King Kong a bigger fight? What is he doing besides beat Jennings?
Well, I would say skill wise. I mean, sometimes you just see certain fighters that just look special, because they have the skill set. You could tell that they separate themselves from the majority of fighters in the heavyweight division. I mean, a lot of people look at King Kong Ortiz as top 3. Some people believe he's number 1, the best fighter skill wise. So it's just the skill set, and a lot of people, and people also have to realize when a lot of fighters are avoiding a certain fighter, that alone makes him look better. Because then everyone starts saying, man, nobody wants to fight this guy. He must really be that good. So I mean,
glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because there's another brother who fights up in Philly, right?
Which
is not too far from me. You know him, Hardcore Menzoa, right?
Uh-huh.
He's avoided. How many times? Because Wilder offered him the contract for like pennies, he accepted, and then Wilder's people took the contract back and went and fought the Polish cat that Wilder damn near killed in his last fight. I can't pronounce his name.
No, you mean a couple fights back? What was it? A
couple fights back.
Spilka. You're talking about Spilka, right?
Spilka, right. He's that because people talk about King Kong. King Kong is 40.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, King.
Manziel is also 41, I believe. So I don't know how special he could be at 40, but you got this brother here in Philly who's doing everything that he needs to do. Everybody that he beats basically goes on to get their shot. He fought this guy here, Brazili, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had him beat. The only thing that made him stop the fight is that he bit his tongue and he was swallowing blood, and he had to get so many stitches, so he had to stop the fight because he was getting nauseous and almost passed out. Yeah. But he hasn't got his title shot yet, man. You talk about a fighter that's being avoided. Hardcore is being avoided big time, man.
Yeah,
being very avoided.
I don't know though, man, because Amir, he done had a lot of opportunities. I mean, he ended up falling short a couple of those fights. I mean, didn't he lose to Steve Cunningham too? Did he fight? He fought against.
He lost to Cunningham. He lost to Cunningham in a great fight. Yeah. He lost to Cunningham in a great fight.
Yeah, he had some opportunities, man. I mean, like you said, the Gerald Washington is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. He had the injury or whatever, and he had to pull out of that fight. But no, he had some opportunities. But Lewis
no. He fought Washington, man, but they ruled it as wrong.
Yeah.
They fought to it.
I mean, my bad. Who was the guy again? Who was the guy again? Where, like you were saying, he had he was bleeding in the mouth. Who was that again that he fought against?
That was Brazil.
Okay. Yeah, Brazil. Okay. Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, but that's my point though. He's been in there with a lot of up and coming undefeated prospects and some pretty fair names. I think if he would have beat all of them guys, I think he would have got his title shot. I mean, but
that's the thing. He did beat him. The only one that he really didn't beat is the guy that we keep mentioning who went on to fight Joshua and lost. But he didn't get beat by this cat. He got, like I said, he bit his tongue because he has a habit of. I think he has a habit of letting his mouthpiece hang out or something like that. So he got caught with a punch and then.
My bad.
Almost he almost. Basically, he had to get like so many stitches because his tongue was almost bit in half.
Yeah, no, it was a bad injury, no doubt about it, man. But but like I said, right now, I mean, Luis King Kong Ortiz, I mean, he's knocking at the door, and he's about to get either Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder, because even Anthony Joshua, which is something else we're going to talk about, he's going to have to either give up his belt or fight King Kong Ortiz. So.
I'll be honest with you, and then I'm gonna jump off because I know you got to do the show. But honestly, Joshua is special. He's gonna beat Ortiz. It's not gonna be an easy fight. He's gonna beat him. He's gonna beat Ortiz. I don't see him losing to anybody anytime soon because I'm gonna tell you why. I've been following boxing for 30 plus years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's training him, whoever's in his corner, they actually brought him up the right way. All his fights moved him up a certain level, and then he fought Klitschko. And as he was fighting Klitschko, you could see him, taking everything in, man, and starting to learn during the fight.
Yeah.
So I don't see anybody that's going to beat him anytime soon. I really don't.
Absolutely, and he adjusted to the clinch, the jab, the jab and grab type style. He adjusted to that, and he perfectly timed him with an uppercut coming in, trying to grab him. So, but man. But I gotta let you go, bro. We're gonna get to the next one. All right, man.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, take care, man. Yeah, Money. So Money. What did you think about my man? His assessment on King Kong Ortiz. I guess he was saying that King Kong Ortiz, he ain't fought nobody. And then he compared him to Amir Mansour, which I would never compare him to Amir Mansour. But what'd you think about that, Money?
Okay. Well, me personally, I've been watching Ortiz for a while, and to me, what makes him so special is that his ability to counter his opponent so easily. I mean, it's the same thing over and over again. They have a very difficult time because it's obvious he's a southpaw. His punches come, from a different angle, but it's the way he delivers his shots, and he just puts everything. Well, it's like, look, until someone can actually prove it wrong, this guy's going to be right there at the front door. No one from the top really is knocking on this door. Hey, I want to fight that guy. No one is really saying that. I'm not knocking anyone else, but I'm only dealing with what we're actually seeing right now in the heavyweight picture. Ortiz is the one stepping up to that next level, and I don't think he's going away anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my personal opinion.
I mean, but the question is, who's going to be the last one standing? And I know that's a tough question to answer, but because like I was just telling my man, you got King Kong Ortiz. He's closing in on both. He's closing in on both Wilder and Joshua. You know, I mean, well, Deontay Wilder, from what I hear, they're in tough negotiations. I talked to somebody who's on the inside, and he said that that's pretty much a done deal. But, you know, it's still taking a while for the fight to come to fruition. And then if King Kong doesn't get Wilder, then they're about to force Joshua to either fight King Kong or give up the belt. So, you know, right now King Kong is on his Errol Spence, you know, where he had to wait for a while. Nobody wanted to fight him, but now he's knocking at the door, you know. So we'll see how that.
I think personally, I'll just say this very quick. I think a fight between Ortiz and Joshua will be a major league barn burner. And personally, I think both guys will rock each other. I would not be surprised if they traded knockdowns. I honestly believe that, but I think early on, Joshua is going to have an extreme amount of trouble because he's going to get countered in ways he's not used to it. So they're going to have to, you know, find that out. But with Wilder is a kamikaze. He's going to go out on his sword. It's going to be very hard. He's so determined. It's going to be very hard to beat Wilder, even though he's awkward in how he does things. His jab will be his savior in order to help him against Ortiz. Anything else outside of that right hand, true enough, a warhead, but I'm worried about those counters from Ortiz.
Yeah.
I think the fight is more important for Wilder than it is for Joshua, just because there's already that narrative out there that Deontay Wilder doesn't fight anybody, or he's afraid to fight anyone or challenge himself, even though he has a decent resume thus far. And some of the fights he attempted to make didn't come through due to steroid use from what's his face. I know
what you're talking about. Oh, right.
I forgot his name too, but yeah, I know you're talking about.
But with Joshua, he kind of had his final due when he fought Vladimir Klitschko in that epic match earlier this year. And, you know, being as he won and ended up knocking him out, he passed. So, I mean, I think Deontay needs to have his little final exam, and that would be against a savvy veteran like Ortiz with a high skill level. And if he can pass that test and find a way to defeat him, to me that just makes their matchup that they're trying to build toward between Wilder and Joshua that much more epic, because you have both guys young, you know, in their prime, who, you know, overcome obstacles and tough opponents who are very savvy and skilled. And I mean, it just leads to a greater build-up. And for experience, I think Wilder needs that.
Yeah, I can agree with you. And thanks for bringing that up. I can agree, because Joshua has had his trial. He passed. He got through it. Okay, now it's time for Wilder. But I think it will be a barn burner. And let's say if Wilder did lose, and you know, and it's Ortiz and Joshua is going to have an extremely difficult time with Ortiz. This guy is a slip and counter specialist. And I mean, I don't think personally I've seen a heavyweight like that with that type of ability. I mean, he's off the charts, and that's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. They're the reason why guys don't want to fight him.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And we're going to go ahead and take another call. I just took a little glimpse at the comment section. Shout out to T.Y. Kang. Just gave me a donation in the comment section. I appreciate that. Everybody supporting Dante's Boxing Nation. I appreciate that. So every once in a while, I try to take a little glimpse at the comment section. But shout out to my man T.Y. Kang. Let's go ahead and take another call. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, and once again, we're not going to be doing the show too long tonight. It'll be a short show, so let's try to get some of these calls in. We got 619. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
What's going on, Dante, man?
All right.
It's Angel Santos. I'm calling from Quantico, VA.
Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah. Real quick, you know, I know the Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn fight is off now. Do you think Bob Arum will even let, you know, Crawford even fight Horn right now? And do you think Horn's team will try to avoid Crawford and fight somebody else? Because, you know, it seems like Horn don't want nothing from Crawford, you know. And I think that they will try to avoid Crawford. And if that's the case, do you think Lucas Matisse would be a good first fight at 147 for Crawford?
Well, let me start with making this correction. It's not Bob Arum that doesn't want the Pacquiao-Crawford fight. It's Pacquiao that doesn't want the Crawford fight. Bob Arum, he's been trying to make that fight since Terrence Crawford beat Victor Postal. Matter of fact, I talked to insiders inside of Top Rank, and I was sitting ringside at that fight, and they were telling me, they was like, Dante, if Terrence Crawford beats Victor Postal, Crawford versus Pacquiao is the fight we want to make next. And I said to him, I said, but do you think Pacquiao will take the fight? Because I already had doubts that Pacquiao would take a fight like that. And he said, oh, you know, when we offer him the money, he'll take the fight. He'll take it. And then sure enough, Manny Pacquiao, he starts saying, you know, something like Crawford has no name and this and that. Then we heard Freddie Roach say that, you know, Crawford is dangerous. He's like a Floyd Mayweather with power. And then he went from saying that to then saying, you know, black fighters don't really sell, so there's no reason for us to fight Terrence Crawford. So they came up with all kind of excuses. So it's not Bob Arum. It's not Bob Arum. And I think Jeff Horn, you know, he's such a Rocky Balboa type character. You know, he even mentioned Errol Spence's name. He said he would like to fight Errol Spence. He's the only fighter that ever mentioned Errol Spence's name. So I don't know if he would be afraid to get in there with Terrence. I think he'll get in there. I think he's the type of fighter that, you know, I mean, he wants to win, but I think he just wants to get in the ring with him, regardless if he wins or loses, you know. So that's my take. Kirk, what do you think about what he said about Jeff Horn versus Errol Spence, or not Errol Spence, against Terrence Crawford and Pacquiao, if he'll ever fight Terrence Crawford?
I don't think Pacquiao is ever going to fight Terrence Crawford. If we ever see a Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford fight, it's going to look something similar to Marquez when he knocked Pacquiao out in their fourth fight.
Yeah.
In regards to the severity of the knockout, he's going to get the break beat off him. They
know that, though. They know that. Hey, bro, but once again, because we got a short show, man, I got to get to another call, okay, man?
All right, Dante, man. Take care.
Hey, take care. Thanks for calling in, man. So, yeah, man, but before we take another call, once again, we have, and just in case for you guys just tuning in right now, I got my man Money Powell III. He's on the phone. He's the father of one of the best prospects in the world right now, Money Powell IV. If you guys haven't been following his career, just go ahead and go to my channel. Matter of fact, if you Google his name, you know, some of my videos will pop up, you know, so check him out. He's knocking people out on my channel and doing all kind of impressive stuff. So just real quick, Money, if you could just give everybody the rundown on what Money, your son, what he's been up to and what he has lined up right now.
Okay, hello everyone, and I hope that everyone is well. My son's name is Money Powell IV, as Dante just stated. Currently, right now, he's fighting at super welterweight. He's training extremely hard. He's 3-0 with 2 KOs. As a matter of fact, in his sparring, he's been emphasizing fighting on the inside, even though he's a tall fighter, and perfecting a lot of shots to the body, much like Mike. The body snatcher McCallum. Perfecting his jab. He has a dynamite-like right hand. His next fight is on the 23rd of September of this month at the Alamo Dome.
Yeah. Okay. That's what it is, man. And, I mean, do you see, because he has a frame, like you said, he has a frame pretty much like Tommy Hearns.
Yes.
Do you see him staying at junior middleweight for a while? Because he's going to be a killer at, you know, he stays there at 154, you know, with his frame and his power and everything. What do you think, Money?
You know something, we talk about that all the time, And we were like, I mean, he's doing well. I give him probably about another 18 to 24 months, maybe. And then he'll probably move up to 160. He just has to stay in the gym all of the time. No real breaks in between fights. He knows that. And that maybe 18 to 24 month time frame. Until he moves up to middleweight. Yeah,
and that makes sense. I mean, if he could, make some waves at 154 for a couple years and then move on to middleweight, that's a good idea. That sounds like a good plan. Okay, so let's go ahead.
No doubt.
Let's go ahead and take another call. Like I said, we'll try to knock out a couple of these calls before we get up out of here. Let me see. I'm
going to have to get him on the line next time.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got to get him on here, man. So, I don't know. Is this the same? I could have swore I just seen 619. Okay, so we got 619. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, yeah, that was the same person. Okay. All right, so we got 510. What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
My name is John from Oakland, California.
Oakland, okay. Bay Area. That's what it is. All right.
Yeah. You know, it's a Bay. I called you once a while ago, but I'm on here again. Hey, man, I just want to say I love your work, man. I've been watching you when you had about 15,000, subscribers, and you're all the way over to 100,000. So congratulations, and it's
good looking out,
man.
Man.
It's taking off. So
good looking out, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hey, man. So I was going to say to all the decals out there, I say, when they talk about Floyd, well, the only reason why he won is because McGregor got tired, because he was fatigued. Well, if that's the case, what happened when McGregor wasn't tired? When he had all the opportunity in the world to throw his best shots, when Floyd wasn't even throwing nothing back? What happened then?
Yeah.
What happened then?
And why didn't he knock him out?
So, it's just like, so he's 100% ready to go first round. I mean, he's just throwing everything he has every single round. What happened then? Why didn't he knock him out in the first or the fourth or whatever? So I just wanted to give the decaf something to think about, because no one said nothing about that at all. And then, in addition to that, I felt that the ref was horrible. He just allowed him to keep, throwing those rabbit punches over and over and over again.
Yeah,
and I love the fact that Floyd didn't complain at all, but it was repetitive. He didn't deduct the point, at all. And it was just, I just thought he was horrible for that reason. And I want to say one more thing. I think the way to beat Ortiz, King Kong Ortiz, is, although he does have a really good counter punch, you got to paint him. You got to paint. So if you paint him, he makes counter, but you're going to expect the counter, and then that's when you hit him, hit a few combos. And I think Anthony Joshua is the best heavyweight now, only because he gave you a block. He gave you a blockbuster fight with what's his name?
Vladimir Klitschko.
Vladimir, whatever. Yeah. He gave you a blockbuster. He got him knocked down. Klitschko got knocked down. He was fatigued, and then he overcame that through his adversity, and he knocked him out. You got to give it to that. He's been through some big time adversity. Wilder, he is it. He's not afraid of anyone. He hasn't backed down from anyone, but I still feel like he needs to work on his footwork a little bit, and he will knock you out with that punch. But outside of that, if it doesn't land, can he win a 12-round fight? That I don't know.
Yeah, double-edged sword. And one thing I will say, though, when it comes to Luis King Kong Ortiz, we already know he's a southpaw, and we already know what's the best weapon against a southpaw. It's that right hand. So it'll be Wilder's right hand versus King Kong's left hand. But like I was telling Money earlier, you could make a lot of mistakes when you're Deontay Wilder. All you need to do is land that right hand one time. I'm not saying that's a great game plan. You should be a complete fighter.
Right.
But that's what makes Deontay Wilder so dangerous. And when it comes to Anthony Joshua, there's a reason why even Anthony, he even said it when I interviewed him. He told me, he said he's the most dangerous fighter, and I would say he's the best fighter, next to myself. And this is him saying that after, he hasn't been in a rush to fight Wilder. So it's crazy because people see the double-edged sword when it comes to fighting against Wilder. They may say, oh, he has some flaws here, his foot movement or whatever, he's sloppy, whatever. But then they look at the advantages that he has, what he does well, and once again, that right hand is kind of like a Pacquiao left hand because, it's like, it's coming over and over and over again, but it's very difficult to avoid it for 12 rounds, so that, and we've seen in the Gerald Washington fight, Wilder, he only landed the punch one time, and it was a wrap. So with that being said, I'm not picking any winners over any of those fighters right now. The three, the top three fighters, King Kong, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. All of those fights can go either way because these are heavyweights as well. Where one mistake could cost you the fight. So, but that's pretty much how I see that, man. But thanks for calling in. All right, man.
Absolutely, man.
All right, take care, man. So, yeah, man. So that's pretty much what it is on that right there. And Kirk, did we find out? So this is the tournament, right? The what is it? What are they calling this tournament again, Kirk? Or do you remember what they're calling it for Chocolatito Gonzalez and Inoue and Carlos Cadras?
It's the Superfly. I think it's the Superfly tournament.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought it was.
Yes, Superfly tournament. Yeah.
Okay, and so basically, this is like you said earlier, Kirk. This is why this is so dangerous for Chocolatito Gonzalez, and I truly believe this is the beginning of the end of his career, man. I really feel that way. I mean, we've seen this happen so many times with fighters, and the reason why I'm bringing this fight up because it's this weekend, coming up this week. So, or next weekend since we're on Sunday. But, yeah, man, I think it's the beginning of the end. I mean, the competition is fierce. Bigger fighters with a lot more skill. They can walk through a lot of Chocolatito's punches. So if he gets past Sung V this weekend, once again, like I said earlier in the show, I don't see him getting past Inoue. I mean, even a Cadras fight, even a Estrada fight would be tough for him. But Inoue is on a whole nother level. So let's try So let's try to take another call if we can. Let's see here. We have 419. What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Hey, what's up? I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio, but I live in Oakland now. So
okay. What's your name?
First time calling. My name's Ron.
All right, Ron.
So kind of discovered this whole YouTube thing like couple months ago. I'm kind of like, whoa, there's Dante's and boxing. You go like, this is awesome. So now I feel like I have a bunch of people I can talk about boxing.
That's what's up.
So, big thing, kind of everyone's talking about the bigger divisions. Terrence Crawford is eventually going to leave 140. So, like, the 135s and the smaller. I'm trying to see some guys unify, step up. Like, the Robert Easter, I know he's trying to set up fights. The Linares. Just trying to see what's going to happen down there. Like, I haven't really seen these unifications. Kind of seeing what's going to happen. Like, what's going on,
Yeah. I'm Kirk, you listening to this, what do you think about what he just said? Why Robert Easter and fighters down in that division, why they're not unifying, why they're not fighting each other? You got Mikey Garcia, Robert Easter. What's going on at that division? I'll let Kirk respond to that first.
I think a lot of it has to do with whenever they come to negotiation, they just can't figure out, they can't come to an agreement on the terms of, how they're going to, when they're going to fight, and it's just a matter of not coming to terms with whether it's different promoters or managers or whatnot. I would love to see a unification. I thought we were on pace to seeing some kind of unification, like unofficial tournament between the lightweights. And they were building towards, from what I heard, Linares to fight either Garcia or one of the other title holders. So, I mean, I would hope we can have things go on in the near future, just like as the caller just mentioned. But I don't know. I think the fighters want to fight. It's just a matter of then finding the terms that are agreeable to both sides, as with any negotiation or with any fight, basically.
Well,
do you think any of them are going to move up or anything? Like, I know Gervonta's trying to get his belt back and stuff, so maybe he can't make the weight anymore, because I know he's been struggling the last couple of fights. Garcia's talking about he's trying to go up to Cotto, so I don't know if he's going to stay there. You know, like, is it because of Garcia? You think they're all just kind of waiting for Garcia? Because he's kind of like the big money cash cow, kind of running that weight class.
I mean, me personally, I thought it was a good idea for Terrence Crawford to wait around for Mikey Garcia, especially since Mikey just got that big win over Adrian Broner. Yeah. And then and going back to Robert Easter, you know, Mikey made it very clear that he really had no interest in fighting Robert Easter. He mentioned Linares at the last post-fight press conference. He mentioned Lomachenko. And when I asked him who he thought was the best champion at lightweight outside of himself, obviously, he said it was Robert Easter. So not only is he not mentioning Robert Easter, but he even admitted that he thought that Robert Easter was the best champion at lightweight. So, I mean, I'm bringing that up because that's another reason why we're not getting some of these fights. You know, I think that would be a great fight right there, Robert Easter. And then the storyline, you know, the fact that Broner just lost and now Broner's boy, Robert Easter, gets in there with Mikey Garcia, you know. So that would be a great fight right there, but it's not going to happen. But Terrence Crawford, I think Terrence Crawford, he should aggressively try to push to get the Mikey Garcia fight. I mean, I don't know. I know some people believe Mikey really wants it. Some people believe he doesn't really want that fight, at least not now. But that's why I think Terrence Crawford should push for it before he goes up to 147, because that would be a huge fight, especially because he could still make the weight at 140. Yeah, but he can give up on Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao ain't gonna fight him, you know. So that's pretty much what that is.
I agree with that. Dante, do you think Adrian Broner would feel a certain way if they made the Robert Easter fight with Mikey Garcia, and if he were to beat Mikey Garcia, being as the fighter he promotes could actually, we'll say if it actually happened, if the fighter he promotes could beat Mikey, but he couldn't? Do you think he'd feel a certain way about that?
You know what I mean? I would like to think that he wouldn't be that selfish, and he would really look at it as a team effort. Like, you know, this was revenge. You know, he basically avenged my loss. Matter of fact, I even asked Robert. I asked Robert Easter that question right after we talked to Broner. Right after Broner, you know, he gave us his thoughts as he was leaving the the arena, and Robert Easter was right there. And I asked him. I said, "So do you want to avenge Broner's loss?" And you know, Broner actually heard the question. You know, and Robert Easter, he said, "Well, I wouldn't call it, you know, getting revenge or anything like that, but I would like to fight him, et cetera, et cetera." So, no, I mean, I would hope that Broner wouldn't look at it that way. I would hope he would just look at it, you know, because Robert Easter's his boy for a very long time. So, you know, I think he would be happy. He would be happy for Robert Easter if Robert were to go in there and beat Mikey Garcia. But that, you know, it's really unfortunate, you know, that we're not getting some of these fights that really need to happen. So, you know, we could really, really, truly find out who the best fighter is at 135 or 130, whatever the case may be. And money, let me ask you, since caller brought up Gervonta Tank Davis, what do you think about him not making weight, money, in his last fight against Fonseca? Do you see him staying at 130, moving up? What do you think is going to happen now?
Me personally, I pray that he can stay at 130 because of his height. You know, when I had a chance to actually meet him, it was my first time actually meeting you at the end of January of this year. I looked at Gervonta and I said, as long as you don't go above 130 pounds, you're okay. He's going to have to find a way how to stay at 130, because at 135, he's going to have serious limitations in with the competition that he's going to face at the elite level. As long as it stays B class, C class, he'll do fine. But the moment you put him in there against those elite fighters, you know, it's like, okay, you had some trouble with this one last guy, you know, and sometimes you just run in certain styles, you just have to just box your way out of them, and that happens.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's a good idea for him to go above 130 pounds. And I'll say this real quick, and I know this is going to sound a little crazy, in what I'm saying. But I mean, people have their own opinions. So these guys blow up like how Gervonta does, because sometimes he gets up to around about 155, 160. I hate to say it, but when you have something like that going on, sometimes you have to get a little drastic. And I've always said, you know, looking at how these guys do this how these women do this liposuction thing, you know, and I know it sounds crazy. But if you let yourself blow up and you go in there and you have this type of procedure done, you know, and now you don't have to concentrate on the weight as much as you used to. Now all you have to do is just maintain what you have so you won't blow up so much in between fights. That is the same thing that Ramon Gonzalez is facing. He can't get to 112 anymore. You're going to have to do something, because to me personally, it's over for him. Even if he can box his way out of it, he's in a sea and he has all of these shackles on his legs. I just don't see him going that far. Yeah. Gervonta is going to fall off in that same bracket.
And he'll mess around and end up being the Curtis Stevens of his division, basically. You know, them super strong fighters. Yeah, man. So that's pretty much what that is. So okay, let's try to take another call, man. Once again, we're about to wrap it up in a little bit. Hey, thanks for your call, man. I appreciate it. All right, man.
Oh, anytime. Appreciate it.
All right, take care, man. All right, we'll get to the next one, y'all. Let me see here. We have 832. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
What's up, Jimmy J. Smooth, live and direct from the sector at the 832. What's poppin', man?
All right. Now, you broke up a little bit. Is who, though? What's your name again?
Jimmy J. Smooth.
Oh, there you go. Jimmy J. Smooth. What's going on, man? Ain't heard from you in a minute. What's good with you?
Man, tell me something, man. Why is there so many people ducking my boy Errol Spence, man? I'm getting sick and tired of all these weak fighters ducking my boy Errol Spence, man. Yeah. I mean, what's the purpose of these dudes fighting, man? Yeah. It should be about trying to unify the division, man. Yeah. And they're ducking my boy Errol Spence. Even title contenders. How the hell you have title contenders ducking my boy Errol Spence? Talk to me, Dante.
Man, you already know what time it is, Jimmy. I mean, the bottom line is when you have a contender who's been offered a title fight, you know, they've been offered the belt. Like, here, man, all you got to do is take this fight and you could be a champion of the world, you know, and they still turn the fight down. They know what time it is, man. They know. They're like, man, I'm not trying to go down that dangerous-ass road. You know, I'm not about to fight no Errol Spence. Skill, recognize skill at the end of the day. I mean, like you said, you got contenders who's getting, you know, shots at the title. You have champions, you know, who getting shots, you know, at the title, whatever, or unifying shots to unify the title, and they still don't want it. I mean, once again, Keith Thurman, who I do believe is going to fight Errol Spence because the walls are closing in, you know, so that fight, it has to happen really, really soon. But, you know, even with Keith Thurman, when Danny Garcia won the belt against Robert Guerrero, Keith Thurman was like, I want Danny Garcia right now. And then, of course, when Errol Spence won the belt, you know, he didn't have the same feelings when it comes to fighting him right away, you know. But credit to Keith, because I believe he is going to be the first, you know, at least champion that's going to get in the ring with Errol Spence. But yeah, man, I mean, just like we were saying earlier, though, man, I mean, just like with King Kong Ortiz, nobody wanted to fight him, but he kept winning. He kept getting closer and closer to the door. And now he's finally at the door. And, you know, and that was the point I was making when a caller earlier, he was trying to compare King Kong to Amir Mansour, and he said, oh, you know, people avoiding him too. No, but the difference is Amir Mansour, he was losing on his way to the door. You know, King Kong continued to win. He continued to win. Everyone they threw in front of him, he won. So he had no setbacks. So that's pretty much what it is when it comes to Errol Spence, man. Errol Spence, people know. I think a lot of fighters, they look at him and they say, man, that boy is goddamn good. I think other fighters be watching him. They be saying that, boy, this goddamn boy, this boy is dangerous as hell. You know, so you know.
Yeah, let me tell you something, brother. He reminds me of a southpaw version of Mike McCallum, and what they have in common is Mike McCallum was avoided the same way Errol Spence was. This dude had to go all the way up to light heavyweight.
Yeah.
And Virgil Hill basically ducked Mike McCallum. This dude was ducked in every division he was in. You know, he had nobody wanted to get in the ring with Mike McCallum, man. And the dude, it was just sad how his career ended, but he still ended up in the Hall of Fame. And I think he may, Errol Spence may have that same fate to some degree. You know what I'm saying? I hope it don't happen, but he may have that same fate, the same problem Mike McCallum have. But he snatched bodies just like Mike McCallum. He does that body work, and he be getting that body count down, man, real talk. So that's my boy, man. But I wish they would stop ducking the brother, man. Real talk.
Well, like I said, Jimmy, eventually, because Errol Spence ain't going nowhere. You know, he's young. He ain't going nowhere. So eventually, they're gonna have to fight him. They're gonna have to fight him. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I just can't wait to see Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman. I mean, money. You already know how that is. You see in Errol Spence.
Oh yes.
You know the rise of him and people not wanting to fight him. Eventually, they all gonna have to fight him, right, money?
Yeah, they have absolutely no choice. The fans want that, and then on top of that, it's the only thing that makes sense. So knowing that when you have this happen in between these two guys right here, you know, and I'm all in for Errol Spence in reference to that. If both meet, it's just only a matter of time now, and I think after that, it's just the world is his at 147. The world is his, and it's just a matter of saying, okay, well, hey, what about, let's see, what's his name? I just drew a blank.
You talking about a welterweight?
No, sorry, junior welterweight.
Terrence Crawford.
But Crawford. Well, hey, what if Crawford? Thank you. What if Crawford steps into the picture? Now that's going to make it just that much more interesting. You know, you're going to have to take chances. In order to be great, you have to take chances. You don't take chances, so don't expect much from you.
Yeah, and I truly believe, man, I'm starting to believe Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, man, that's like some Sugar Ray Leonard type, Tommy Hearns type stuff right there, man.
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, because I don't see any, to me, it seems like the only one that could beat either one of them are each other, you know, so that's a tough one, man. I mean, I would pick, honestly, I would pick Crawford. I pick Crawford over Keith Thurman. You know, so I mean, that's just me personally. But and there's no knock on Keith Thurman. We just talking boxing. You know, this is what we do. You know, so that's pretty much how I see that. So, but once again, I mean, hopefully, you know, we get to see the big fights. Hopefully, we get to see the big fights. You know, and
I agree.
And
most def.
So yeah, that's pretty much what it is, man. All right, Jim. Anything else on your mind, Jimmy? Before I let you go, man.
Man, I think Errol Spence is gonna hit that boy with a body, hit Keith Thurman with a body shot and knock him out at Woody. I think that's what's gonna end up happening, man.
I can see that too. I can see that too after seeing the way your boy Sean had him pinned against the ropes. You know, yeah, man, yeah, he's. You know, I don't know, man. I told people this a while ago before the Errol Spence Kell Brook fight. I said I think that Kell Brook is going to be Errol Spence's toughest opponent out of all the welterweights. And if you watch that fight, Kell Brook, he put up a hell of a fight, you know, before, you know, before he got broke down and walked down. You know, he put up a hell of a fight. He was showing tremendous skills, you know, out jabbing Errol, but at the same time, Errol, he had been out of the ring for a long time, and he attributed, you know, his performance to that as well. But yeah, I just think that I personally think that Errol Spence, you know, it'll be a little bit more smooth going up against somebody like Keith Thurman, and that's that's no knock on Keith. I just think his style is just a little bit more tailor made. Not saying he's tailor made, but compared to Kell, you know, it may be more of a style for Errol to really shine against. So, you know, we'll see, man. Definitely. All right, Jimmy. Hey, well, I'm gonna let you go, family, and we get to the next one.
All right, you too, man.
Hey, thanks for calling in, man. All right, man. Take care, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, man. So yeah, that's pretty much what that is, man. We'll take one more, man, and get out of here. Yeah, we got to go and wrap it up. So we got 443, another 443. What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
It's the same brother, man. I'm just listening. I'm listening, man.
Okay. Yeah, I seen the number over here again. All right, man. I'll go ahead and let you stay on then. Okay, so we got people calling in, just hanging out, listening. That's all good. So we got another 443. Okay, 443, another one. 443-799. What's going on, man?
Hello?
Yeah. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Don. Hassan. I'm calling from Baltimore, Dante.
Okay. I should start memorizing that area code now. Yeah. What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Nothing much. I wanted to start off by saying I'm a big fan of your podcast.
Thank you.
Your YouTube channel. Huge fan. People always being honest and telling the truth for boxing. You, Ego, the boxing voice. Want to give you a shout out.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
And heard a few conversations about heavyweights, welterweights. I want to bring up a conversation with the junior middleweight division and the card that they're having. I want to say October 14th at the Barclays Center with the triple header. Yeah. I want to know your honest opinion. Do you officially think that is a junior middleweight eliminator officially? Because I remember Demetrius Andre was talking about people ducking each other and hopefully everybody get the chance to fight each other, and seeing as though you have Jamel Charlo fighting Erickson Lubin versus Austin Trout, and also you have Erislandy Lara fighting, I can't remember the guy's name, but I remember
Terrell Goucher.
Camp. I think he said on your channel, somebody from Lara's camp, they said that after that fight, they want to fight Demetrius Andre.
Yeah.
Do you honestly believe that this is an official, almost like that of a Super Six or an eliminator for that division?
Yeah, and I won't say it's an official, type of tournament or eliminator, but I think that, that's pretty much what it is, though. It's an unofficial tournament or eliminator. I do believe that, the fact that Lara's manager volunteered that information, we didn't even ask about it, and he just brought it up like that. It sounds like they're ready to fight against Andre, and all of a sudden, we get all of the best fights at junior middleweight all at the same time. It looked like everybody is ready to rumble, and it's unfortunate that that we couldn't get this, of course, when Canelo was there, but now that he's gone, now everybody is fighting against each other now, so. That's pretty much what it is. I do believe that Lara versus Andre will happen really soon. Nobody wanted to really fight them, and now they have an opportunity to fight against each other. So that's
okay. With that being said, do you think it's an official possibility that Jamel Charlo and Andre could fight each other after the possible winner of Lara versus Andre? Well, that's the main fight that I'm intrigued in.
Well, that all comes down. That depends on if Andre, is ready to move up to middleweight. I don't really know if he's interested in moving up to middleweight right now. But that would be another good fight. Once again, fights like that may have to come to fruition because other big names like Golovkin, he's not going to fight Charlo. So and Canelo, which I'm picking Canelo to beat Golovkin, he ain't going to fight Charlo. So they may, once again, it goes back to the black murderers row. These fighters, they won't be able to get certain names, so they'll just have to keep fighting each other over and over again because the other names won't fight them. The bigger names in the division won't fight them. So we probably will see Jacobs Charlo or Jacobs Andre or anybody in that circle before we get to see Canelo versus any of them guys. Just like we didn't see Canelo versus any of them guys at 154. I don't see us, I don't see it happening at 160. Hopefully, I'm dead wrong. I hope to God I'm dead wrong when it comes to that prediction because I do want to see it. It makes all the sense in the world. The winner of Golovkin, Canelo, to fight against Charlo, Danny Jacobs, Andre if he comes up. Any of those fights, man. So, hey, man.
Yeah, they'll all be great fights.
Oh, absolutely, man. And thanks for the question. Thanks for the call, man. That was some good stuff. All right.
All right, y'all have a good night.
All right, man. Take care, man.
Hey, same to you now.
Yeah, Money. So, what do you think? And Kirk, I want to get your opinion on that too, your thoughts on that too. So, I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, guys, but do you think that your boy Canelo or Golovkin, do you think they'll take that fight against Charlo or Danny Jacobs or Andre? What do you think, Money? Start with you.
Okay, when it comes to Charlo, let's just say that is a risky investment for their team. I'm looking at this from a business standpoint based on their status, how long they've been boxing, no longer looking at it from a sports. So you're talking about making money? No, that is high risk, very low reward for either guy. And there's too many problems.
Yeah.
So, I think it would be a matter of, I don't know, just somehow someone saying, okay, yeah, we'll make it happen, but we need like huge amounts of money in pay-per-view status. Other than that, it's not going to happen. That's my personal opinion.
I hear you. And I look at it like this, Kirk. I mean, now, if you hired me as some promoter or something or manager and you told me my job was to keep Canelo winning and I get fired if I put him in there with somebody who's going to beat him, then I definitely wouldn't put him in the ring with Charlo, Danny Jacobs or Andre or something like that. Do you think that either Canelo or Golovkin will fight those guys? Or do you, if you have some money on it, will they fight any of those fighters?
Nope. Just for the reasons that you both outlined, it's too much of a risk. And what they can do is, being as Canelo, let's just say he wins and he's fighting Golovkin and he wins the fight or whatever, his team could say, well, we fought the most feared man in boxing, and we beat him. So what's the need for us to go out of our way and fight Jacob, the guy who technically lost to Golovkin, or fight a Jermell Charlo who's, known in the boxing world, the hardcore fans and the reporters, we know of his skills and his potential and what he's accomplished thus far, but the common fan doesn't know that. So they can paint the narrative, whichever way they want, and, they can seek more lucrative options to avoid that fight. So Golovkin, he can say, well, if he wins, I'm going to try and unify and fight Billy Joe Sanders or whoever has the WBO belt. Or maybe I'll move up for middleweight and, look for a lucrative option there. So they both kind of have excuses and leeways out of that path of facing either a Danny Jacobs or Jermell Charlo, unfortunately. But, the hardcore fan of boxing, I want to see these fights.
Of course.
We all want to see these fights.
I mean, in every other sport, we see the best play against the best in every other sport, so it makes no sense not to get any of these fights. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We couldn't get to everybody's calls, but I appreciate you guys calling in, and I just want to say thanks again for the DBM panel holding it down. My man, Money Pal the Third on the phone. Anything else you want to say before I let you go, Money? Before we wrap it up?
Look, I'm just glad that they're starting to put these cards together now. And, hey, just keep doing what you're doing, Dante. And, hey, I'll keep you informed about money.
Absolutely.
Had a good time tonight.
All right. Thank you, man. And my man, Kirk Jackson from BoxingInsider.com. Anything else on your mind before we wrap it up, Kirk?
Thanks, Money, for being on. Thank you, Dante, again,
for
having me. I appreciate it. Shout out to Peter Quillen. Good luck on Friday. And you appreciate everything.
Once again, man, that's what it is.
Take it easy, Kirk.
Yep. I thank you guys. Thank you guys for always joining the show, man. And thanks for everybody that tuned in. We'll be back again next week, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up and enjoy these fights, man, next week, man. Should be some real good fights on HBO. Chocolatito, Roman Gonzalez against Sung V, the rematch. Estrada versus Cadras, Inoue versus Nieves, the Beast Inoue. So it's some good fights next weekend. All right, y'all. I'm signing out. It's Dante's Boxing Nation. It's the nation, baby. Yep.